Welcome to I'm Your Target Demographic, and welcome to a series we're calling Lore, where we look at fantasy creatures and maybe dive into their origin and how they feature in mainstream media. So we're starting this video series with dragons. That's an easy one, right? So we're going to dive into kind of where dragons came from and then the different types of dragons you might see. So let's dive in. This is a dragon. They've specifically got 4 limbs, 2 arms and 2 legs, with the addition of wings sprouting from their backs. If you're wondering where these beasts first came from, it's likely that the fossils of dinosaurs led people to believe in their existence. If an ancient civilization encountered the skull of a tyrannosaur, you could imagine the sort of wild theories that might pop up. There are also real-life creatures that could have spawned this invention, such as the Komodo dragon, or even giant crocodiles. Even whales might leave bones that could cause ancient civilizations to ponder what left them. In China, we see some of the earliest renders of a dragon, the long and slender form twisting around itself. While dragons in modern media might be powerful monsters and big bad enemies, the mythology from China established dragons as protectors and benevolent creatures. We see dragons in other early literature, such as the Indian text Rig Veda, which talks of the dragon Vircha. In Mesopotamian myths, the dragon Tiamat fought other gods for supremacy. We see ancient texts and images and tapestries showing dragons from all over the world. So it's interesting that cultures separated by oceans managed to create similar folk tales. Now there's a creature that's often mistaken for dragons, which is one that has 2 legs and then wings that also function as its front arms, instead of distinct separate arms. This creature is called a Wyvern, and you've been lied to by series such as Game of Thrones, but Mother of Wyverns doesn't have the same ring to it. Even the dragons in the popular game Skyrim are missing their front arms, making them wyverns as well. Even in the Hobbit films, Smaug the dragon doesn't have front arms. To reconcile all this, I'm going to resort to something in grade school that always stuck with me. A rectangle is a square, but not all squares are rectangles. A wyvern is a type of dragon, but a dragon with 2 distinct arms is not a wyvern. This sort of logic can keep our love of franchises like Skyrim intact without our brains collapsing in on themselves. Then we have the worm, which are dragons typically with no arms or legs or wings. Massive dragons burrowing through the land and earth. We look to Star Wars, where The Mandalorian recently showed us the Krayt dragon of Tatooine, again reinforcing our idea that worms are dragons, but not all dragons are worms. The lack of wings is an interesting point. If a dragon has 2 arms and 2 legs, but lacks the wings, this makes it a drake, typically much smaller and landbound. Real-life creatures such as the Komodo dragon could be considered drakes, as could be the goanna monitors native to Australia. We have 2 lesser seen variants, such as the dragon with 2 arms and no legs called the lindworm, and the flying but armless and legless variation called the amphitheer. These don't appear in fiction nearly as much. Now in fiction, dragons also tend to be tied to colors and elements. You might see traditional red dragons bellowing flame, but you also might see dragons that spew ice and frost. You might see black dragons with a poisonous breath. Depending on the franchise, you might see some or all of these. Some franchises, such as Dungeons & Dragons, even include metallic dragons, such as gold, bronze, and copper. In D&D, for example, the metallic dragons are lawful and usually powerful allies, as opposed to the traditionally colored dragons, which are usually oppositional to our heroes. Growing up, one of the first places that I saw dragons was the film Dragonheart, featuring Sean Connery as the voice of one of the world's last dragons. You may have encountered dragons in Disney, such as the villainous Maleficent in Sleeping Beauty, or Mushu in the film Mulan. You may be a fan of the franchise How to Train Your Dragon, featuring the incredibly adorable dragon Toothless. What are some of your favorite dragons? Let me know in the comments, and hopefully you found this interesting.
My ancestors sent a little lizard to help me.
Hey, dragon, not lizard. I don't do that tongue thing.